Oh my. Look at all the geese sitting on the canal towpath. This is going to be fun. Alright, this will be camera worthy. Hello. Look at all these geese. Look at all this goose shit. Oh, this trail feels a lot rougher than the last time I rode it. Probably because it's gotten wet. So this is with the tribble. That's what my camera looks like with the windsock on it. No. Take my helmet off. Make sure it's recording. Let's take a look at the back of the tribble. This is what I'm seeing when I'm riding. It's a tribble. There's no doubt about it. That is a tribble. That's my attempt to get better sound quality out of that camera, because I tend to get a lot of wind noise, and so I'm hoping that windsock will cut down on the wind noise so I can start actually narrating these rides. We'll see. For now. My name is Rubber Bruce Scott, and this channel is devoted to the three things that I'm passionate about, passionate pastimes, if you will. Photography, bicycling, and music. And to that, we're going to add storytelling very soon. There are a couple of stories that are already posted on my channel, but we're going to hold a little storyteller meeting with 4 different storytellers, myself included. And I have to give Bob Sander thanks for organizing the event and hosting it in his home. So each of the stories that are told will be its own little separate video. I'm about ready to start this video by hopping up on the Monon and then riding a trail that I haven't ridden in years, and I think that it's been expanded since I rode it last. So we'll find out. Okie dokie. Let's see if I've regenerated up to 98% of the battery. All right, here we go. Up to the Monon from the Fall Creek Trail. Now we're going to head south along the Monon. Don't see anybody coming, so should be safe. Now this is a long stretch of the Monon here. And it's relatively featureless, and I've already got a video of me coming north along it. So I'm not going to bother making a video of coming north along the Monon. Just south, where I'll pick up the trail that I'll circumnavigate. Thank you. Oh, looks like they've resurfaced.
Yeah. I think there was a little jog.
to be Habitat for Humanity. But it looks kind of empty now. Well, that's not the building I thought it was. Now right now, you can hear that my engine is not engaged. That's because I'm keeping the bicycle above 20 miles an hour. And there's a governor on the engine that shuts it down when the bicycle gets to 20 miles an hour. So once I'm at 20 miles an hour, I'm maintaining that speed with only my own power and not the engine. But I'm going to have to coast now because I'm coming up to an intersection. It's one strategy for reducing the use on the battery. Thank you. Is to keep the bicycle above 20 miles an hour. And the engine just cut out. I'm now, it got back in. Every time I drop below 20, it cuts back in. .6 miles an hour. Along there, I can keep that up. And of course, the engine also isn't in use when I'm coasting. And there's a lot of intersections coming up. So right now, I'm registering 97% on the battery. That's really quite good, considering how far I've come. I've come probably at least 7 or 8 miles. Because I topped the battery off a few days ago at 100%. And I've been conserving it, riding conservatively by either doing a lot of coasting where I can or keeping the bicycle above 20%, above 20 miles an hour. That reduces the use of the battery so it'll last longer. So I make sure that it'll get me home. I'm going 21 miles an hour right now, and it's under my own power. You can hear when the engine kicks in and when it kicks off. Of course, keeping this 60-pound bicycle going 20 miles an hour with only my own force, it's definitely giving my hamstrings a workout. I'll have to get a good stretch at some point. Clear? Alright, now we got a longest stretch coming up. Probably goes straight from 16th Street to 10th Street. And we've had to stop every block. And the engine just cut out. We're at 20.6 miles an hour. And it just cut back in and out again. So I'm trying to use my own power, keep it above 20 miles an hour, so I can conserve the battery. It takes a long time to get down to 80%. It's much faster draining when it goes from 80 to 40. And when it drops below 40%, it goes to zero really fast. Alright, I think I'm coming up on 10th Street now. And I managed most of that stretch without the engine. Okay. So now I'm going to jump off the Monon and get onto some other trail. Let's find out what that trail is. Maybe there's a sign here to tell me. That sign just talks about the Monon. Okay. I'm on 10th Street. Sooner or later, I hope there will be a sign telling me what trail I'm on. Okay, those people came off the sidewalk. Pogue's Run Trail, that's what trail this is. Alright, so this is Pogue's Run. Oh! Yes, turning without using your signal light. A class. Coming up behind you. On your left. Thank you. Nice little park here. All right, through the park on my way back. Very residential area. Pogue's Run goes off this way. And there's an alternate trail goes through there. Alright. I may actually loop around and come back that way. Let's see. This is very much a commuter trail. Residents of this area who want to bicycle downtown. It's really nice to have this for them. Some of these homes in this area are really pretty nice. There's also a fair amount of what appears to be low-cost rentals in this area too. Which means this trail serves a number of purposes. Middle-class folk use it to exercise and walk around. Okay, that looks like the alternate trail there. I'll take that on the way back. Coming up behind on your left. And run the red light. Well, now I think this is relatively new construction down here. We've got a park that they're working on building or renovating. This might be Lamplight Park. I suspect that might end up being public restrooms. This bridge looks new. But the trail doesn't. That's interesting. Like an alternate trail, it just comes to an end over there. And it kind of peters out to an end over here. Interesting. This is kind of a floodplain down there. Pogue's Run Trail, there's a sign about it. stop somewhere up here and check my battery, but I think from looking at the trail map that the trail doesn't go a whole lot further than this. Well, I don't know. It's already gone considerably further than I expected it to. Another little parking area and another little sign about Pogue's Run. A little gazebo and a bench, some tables. Odd little area. And another little gazebo over here. And I think this is where the trail ends. Yep. This is the end of the Pogue's Run Trail right here. Okay. And there's a little directory. Alright, so let's see, I'm at 71%. That should be enough to get me back home, but I need to be conservative on the way back. Turning it off will allow the battery to regenerate some of its power. Let's find out about Pogue's Run Trail. Here's the directory, here's the map. You are here. It actually shows the trail going off further to an art and nature park. Well, let's see. This way would be west, so this is where I came from. So eventually the trail is going to go follow this in Spades Park, and a long distance here that I can't go because I don't have enough battery power. But you are here, so this is where we are. And I'm not seeing any more Pogue's Run Trail beyond that outlet. And none this way. All right. Okay, regenerated up to 74%. I'm going to explore just a little past this trailhead here to see if there's another trailhead back there, but I don't think there is. I think this is it. I think I've made it to the end of Pogue's Run Trail as it currently exists. This would be the eastern end. I'm going to head back west here. Let's go this way. Yeah. Well, there's no more trail down this way. So that is the end of the trail for now. All right. There's the Women's Temperance Unit Memorial Grove. Women's Temperance Movement. Nice little set of tables over there. Oh. Okay, this is Rural Street. So I am pretty far east from home. Or west, rather. No, east. Rural Street's on the east side of downtown. It's pretty far east of downtown, actually. I think it's about 2 or 3 miles east of downtown. Okay, so now we're deep into this video. For anybody who happens to be listening this far in, maybe I ought to talk about some of the, oh, this is a alternate route here. Let's take the alternate route, see where it goes. It peters out right here. This is an onlet into the Pogue Run Trail, but this is not a continuation of the trail in any way. It just goes onto that sidewalk there, which is a nice broad sidewalk, but I don't want to ride on it. So I'll back up, turn this way, back up again. Ooh, okay. Let's get off and walk around, because I'm just not making that turn while I'm on top of the bicycle. Alright, I'm back on. Alright, I was getting ready to talk about the situation with No King's Day, which was yesterday. And the President's birthday military parade, both of which are historic events. It was the last military parade in Washington, D.C., I think, was to celebrate the end of the Gulf War. The first one. Or maybe it was even before that. It's quite some time ago, back in the 20th century. So this is the first military parade that Washington, D.C. has seen in the 21st century. And all of the previous military parades were celebrating the end of a war. The No Kings movement is also historic. It's the largest protest movement in the history of the United States. 12.1 million people, looks like, turned out for No King's Day in thousands of cities across the United States. Not just cities, but small towns. And some of them in ruby red districts, many of them. They protest what American people see as growing authoritarianism. But if you watch the coverage on the news media, and I'm talking about the news media, not the opinion media, which MSNBC is still more opinion than news, and Fox News is really much more opinion than news. I'm sure they have their own takes on it. But most of, like ABC, NBC, CBS, what I've seen so far, is they've treated the whole thing like it's another day at the office. They haven't really commented on either of the events being historic, which both are. And that kind of is disturbing. I grew up in the era of Walter Cronkite. I was too young for Edward R. Murrow, but I wasn't yet too young for Walter Cronkite. I remember hearing him say, "And that's the way it is." He might not have issued an opinion on these events either. But the news coverage would have definitely indicated that this is historic. doesn't seem to me that that's what the broadcast news is doing. Of course, broadcast news is no longer what it was. People are getting most of their news from Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and other sources. The problem with that is they're mostly listening to the echo chambers that tell them what they already think. Oh, interesting little park. Oh, somebody left their sandals there. Okay. A little overgrown, but that's kind of nice, actually. Okay. So, that was an alternate route. So, I'll say this much about it, and I may say more later, but for right now, my father's quite elderly, and I can only hope to be as healthy as he is when I get to his age, assuming I live that long. He's lived quite a long time. He was born during the Great Depression. He grew up during World War II. He served in the Navy during the Vietnam era. And he was a college professor for a number of years. He's now been retired longer than he ever worked. He said something to me. I'm in my 60s now, so I've known this man a very long time. And he said something to me I've never heard him say before. I've never heard my father say, "I'm afraid." But he said that today. I'm afraid of this authoritarian regime. My father said that. He's a sociologist. He's been a police training officer. He served in the United States Navy. And he's afraid. Oh, and this is not the trail. I turned north too soon, thinking this is the Monon. And it is not. It's just a warehouse district. Okay, let's get out of here. Got distracted by what I'm thinking. Watch out. Watch out. There's the Monon. Oh. That's going to tax my battery. Down into the 50s already. Okay. I've got a long way to go to get home. I'm going to try not to drop below 40% before I get to Fall Creek. Really hoping that tribble cuts down on the wind noise. Ah.